Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest startup of sports today. We've got a great lineup once again. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. We'll start off, of course, with cricket. Pakistan have announced their squad to take part in the Test series in Sri Lanka. The squad includes Babar Azam as the captain. Many of the traditional names that have been part of the Pakistan squad are there, but two major inclusions back into the Pakistan Test squad are Salman Ali Agha and Yasir Shah, who makes a return. Naseem Shah has also been included after carrying an injury. He's directly back into the squad again. So we will be discussing in detail of the squad that has been announced, and of course I'll be naming all of these players that have been selected. After that, we will be talking about more news from the world of cricket and spectacular news, of course, coming up. But before that, we've got one very, very important message for all of you cricket fans out there. Former Pakistan captain Zaheer Abbas have been moved to the ICU in a hospital in England. Zaheer Abbas, of course, is suffering from pneumonia. He is on oxygen. His condition is improving, but the family has asked for prayers. He contracted COVID-19 while he was in Dubai, and the cricketing legend, of course, was diagnosed with COVID, and then, of course, complications related to COVID. But the family has sent out a message to all you cricket fans out there, all the viewers of Sports Extra and PTV, everybody who is watching this show is requested to pray for the early and speedy recovery of Zaheer Abbas Saab, and we hope and we pray that inshallah he gathers his strength once again, he gathers courage and battles this illness and is back into his normal routine once again. So all the prayers from the platform of Sports Extra, PTV World and PTV in general, from the entire team, our guests, our experts, everybody that is involved, we pray for the speedy recovery of Zaheer Abbas Saab. After that, like I said, some spectacular news coming up. Sri Lanka have beaten Australia in the fourth one-day international and have clinched the series as well. Spectacular performance by Sri Lanka. Absolutely I think great to see. We discussed this yesterday as well. Me and Asif were there, and we were commenting that if they get to 280, we know that they can do it because they've got a spectacular bowling unit. They've got a great fielding unit as well, and they can achieve this target. So we'll be discussing all of this in today's show. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, we've been joined by cricket expert and cricket commentator Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm good, Ahmed.
Good to have you on the show. We've also been joined by cricket coach and cricket expert Syed Mohammad Awais. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Waislam, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Australia lost. You're wearing yellow. That means a bit of sympathy there.
It is, but I loved the way Sri Lanka just won, and it was the, I would say, much awaited victory for them.
Well, let's talk about Pakistan's squad that has been announced for the Test series against Sri Lanka. And like I said, I've got the squad in front of me. A spectacular squad that has been announced, starting off with the captain Babar Azam, who is part of the squad. Further down the line, if you look at the squad, you've got inclusions of Mohammad Rizwan, Abdullah Shafiq, Azhar Ali, Fahim Ashraf, Fawad Alam, Haris Rauf, Hassan Ali makes a return once again, Imam ul Haq, Mohammad Nawaz, Naseem Shah, Noman Ali, Salman Ali Agha, Sarfaraz Ahmed, Saud Shakil, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Shan Masood and Yasir Shah. That's the squad that has been announced for the two-match Test series against Sri Lanka. Both the Test matches are going to take place in Galle, so we know that it's going to be a traditional spin, probably a spin condition there, and majority what we've seen in Galle, that the ball turns bananas there at times, and Sri Lanka is going to play according to their strength. Asif, your thoughts about the squad that has been announced?
Honestly, I was looking forward to get Kamran Ghulam in this side, see performing for a long time. I have started with the negatives. Why? Because when a player like Kamran Ghulam, performing well in domestic cricket for a long time, in each year scoring more than 1,000 runs, and the average is fine, overall average is 45, each and everything is fine, then why is he is not in the squad? So answer might be the selectors are given an answer that there is no place for the Azhar Ali, for the Kamran Ghulam. Then why you have included Salman Ali Agha scoring 500 runs, 450 runs in list A, bringing in the Test side, out of question. I'm not understanding what is the sense. It does not make any sense. First thing. Second thing, that good thing is that you are bringing Mohammad Nawaz as a spinner in the place of Sajid. Nawaz is definitely our coach, sitting next to me. He will talk about his techniques. Looks pretty much calm especially in the batting as well. A very good fielder and a spinner as well. So I think that it's a good inclusion in test squad, and Yasir Shah is there. So, and I'm quite sure that this time Yasir Shah is not sitting in the dugout, and he'll be playing in 11 side, of course. So overall, it's a balanced side. One thing which I really wanted to point out, that was the Kamran Ghulam's place. If he is not in the test squad performing after so many times, then why you guys are waiting and what you are waiting for?
What you are waiting for? That is the big question right now. Overall, Avais, your thoughts about the squad that has been announced, all the inclusions and exclusions?
The biggest thing is that, Ahmed bhai, Sri Lanka, obviously, they are on a high note the way they have actually finished up the Australia series. It's a different format. It's a one-day format. They have finished the T20 format. Now it's the test match coming up against Pakistan. Good thing for Pakistan, I would say, from 1.5 years, I've seen Pakistan dramatically changed a team. I mean, because remember, we used to speak about a fast bowling lineup, which actually was a trump card in any kind of tournaments. But now you speak about a batting, you have got bunch of players coming up. Specifically, the opening department is, I would say, you have got many openers who are actually waiting for the chance to play for Pakistan. But I'm happy for Shan Masood, because we have been speaking about him that he has to be in the Pakistan team, because the way he has been consistently performing well in the county cricket. One thing what I love about county cricket is that they actually play with the minds. You know why? Because they have two 4-day cricket, then suddenly they have two T20s and one-day cricket coming up. So they actually go through many phases. So he has been consistently scoring runs for them, and it's a good sign over here. But still, again, I would say, because Pakistan are still looking for a strong middle order unit over here, because whether if you talk about the one-day team, whether you talk about the T20 or test match squad, you had given chances to Fawad Alam. He's a good batsman, fine batsman too, but I would say still you need someone who can actually take that load with you, because Azhar Ali had been a strong contender for Pakistan, but unfortunately he has been not, I would say, consistent for Pakistan. He hasn't been consistently scoring runs for you. And when you're playing at the Gal wicket, obviously it's a traditionally spinning track over there. Then you have more humid conditions than Pakistan in Sri Lanka. That obviously will be a test for Pakistani players. But I would go with Asif Bhai too over here, because see, the players who actually have been consistently scoring runs in the domestic structure for you, it's really, I would say, a shocking kind of thing what we have been always speaking on, that we have forgotten our main tournaments, the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy. We have actually now, we are more focusing on the league cricket, where the league cricket guy performs. He's obviously selected for all the three formats, and he has not gone through that, I would say, that period of mental toughness what he goes through the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy. So that's what Pakistan Cricket Board obviously needs to think about here. They had the like Kamran Ghulam, because I have been working with him in the KPL. I've seen him. He's one of the strong contenders who has performed really well, but unfortunately, again, not a chance over here. You had, like you were speaking about Mohammad Nawaz. I've seen Mohammad Nawaz. I mean, for me, he's more a limited, I would say, cricketer as compared to test matches, because he's a handy with the bat. He can perform with the bat, and he's one of the batsmen who, if you remember, for Quetta Gladiators, he's played at the 1 down, 2 down position. He's played at the middle order. He's played at down the order.
But he might not play as well. He might not.
He might not. Obviously, when you have Noman in the team, when you have Yasir Shah, so I don't think so. There's a place for him. But the spin bowling option specifically, it's going to be an example over there. I know the Sri Lankan spin bowlers are doing a fabulous job in the one-day cricket, but it's a different format in the test. The spin unit of Pakistan will play a crucial role. But again, Ahmed bhai, you need to really think about the fast bowlers, because you have got Asia Cup coming up, you have got World T20 coming up. I know the Test Championship obviously is on the line, but your prime fast bowlers who are actually in your mindset of playing that all the big tournaments coming up, you really need to look after them, that they don't go through any kind of injury and all that over here. If you're carrying Naseem Shah, if you're carrying new faces, you need to give them some chances over here.
Absolutely. That's
could
very
we
important.
open debate, Ahmed, if you allow me? See, we have watched a picture of Sarfraz, and he's in the squad. Does it make any sense that you are carrying him for a long time? He's not playing, and
what if Rizwan gets injured? Is Imamul Haq going to keep again?
No. What my question is, and what my point is, why you're not bringing a new face there? What's the reason? I mean,
probably they tried it with I think Harvest, but they want to, I think, segregate it for limited overs, and because the big news that did come up, and I wanted to have just a little insight on this, that the Pakistan Cricket Board on Thursday, that is tomorrow, is also going to approve a new thing, which is separate central contracts for Test and ODI players. So they're just going to divide that now.
No, fine, but my question is that Sarfraz is not playing for a long time, right? But you are carrying him with the squad. So why not a new face? Why not a youngster?
Name one.
See, Haris is still there. Anyways.
They played Haris in the one day. You were not happy with that. No, you want him to be in the test squad.
See. After giving 2-3 chances, I'm not saying that just eliminate him and just push him back. What I'm saying is that what's the reason that you're not bringing new face in this test
Because
cricket?
you never,
See,
you
if
never,
you do not
never
have,
put confidence in anyone else. You didn't develop anyone when Sarfaraz was in the team.
why you're not developing? This is the question, dear. And Awais, if you could add anything, dear.
See, the thing is that, I mean, you spoke about Haris, one thing. I was the one who actually wanted Haris to play. Fine, I know that he hasn't played a lot of domestic cricket, but remember he played for KPK and he has scored runs in it. I remember Rizwan was the one who actually had given him the chance to play for KPK in the playing squad. He scored runs in that too. In the Peshawar Zalmi squad, if you remember, he was playing at the position Ahmed Bhai and Asif Bhai at the, I guess, one down position or two down position.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a totally different position as compared to this position. This position is where you had to go through many, I would say, pressure situation against West Indies. And specifically, you need to realize one thing, that domestic cricket, or if you're playing any cricket around the world, specifically the T20 leagues going on, it's a major difference than world cricket.
Look, Wes, I think the only major difference between you and majority cricket nations out there is the intent. If Haris was, let's suppose, in any other country, let's say, don't look far, just look at your neighbors, what India did. They benched the entire squad and played a completely new squad against South Africa. If you wanted to debut Haris, I understand this is a test match or whatever, but if you want to play Haris, the right thing would have been in a T20 series, ask either Babar or Rizwan to, probably Rizwan, that okay, and Rizwan would have been completely fine with this, that okay, I won't play one T20, let's just try Haris as an opener just to develop him for the future. That's what developing nations do. But I think because we'll stick our focus to test cricket and the squad that has been announced, and we've got to move on as well. Very important question to both of you. Asif, you first is, the quality of Yasir Shah, we have no doubt about that. Quality, skillful bowler. The 100 he scored in Australia with the bat was absolutely phenomenal. Where did things go wrong for Yasir Shah?
Well, see, I don't want to mention, but see, somehow off the field activities affects your performance as well. One thing. The second thing is that he has problems with his fitness as well, according to my knowledge, and he had worked hard concerning his fitness and workout and stuff like that. The one thing, and the other thing is, that bringing him in, bringing him out, and even if he's in the squad, if he's not playing as much senior player, of course puts pressure on you. So I think that I'm quite sure that this time we are carrying, or we are not, I'm not sure, sorry, either we are carrying a psychologist with our team or not, because it's so important that in this scenario, after the COVID situation and each and everything, each team has been carrying one or two, psychiatrists with themselves. So I'm not sure about the Pakistan cricket team. He requires some, he has some issues with his mental health.
Right, Awais, no doubt about his quality, but now makes a comeback. What does he need to improve now?
See, Ahmed Bhai, I have been following him when I was playing for you. I remember when back in 2011, 12 and all that year 13 and all that, I have been watching him. A consistent part of Pakistan A. He was the consistent part of Pakistan A. And I remember I used to ask a question that time to the Pakistan A team manager, that why is he not being playing for Pakistan? Because the way he used to perform with the ball, the way he used to perform in the fielding too. Obviously that time, because it was the peak of Shahid Afridi, it was the peak of the other bowlers, so it was difficult where to put him up he was a leg spinner. But looking at his performance, I mean, continuously I would say, leg spinners are actually one of the bowlers who take regular wickets, but they do go for runs because they are meant for that. But they break partnerships for you. What I've seen, one thing about Yasir Shah, remember late Shane Warne even said once that he's got everything in him, but it's that he tries to do more. I mean, what he's not actually, I would say, more specialized in it. He tries to do some different kind of things with the ball. He needs to stick around with one thing. I know that Yasir Shah has been gone through bad patches because he's gone through that top rate, which actually even obviously when you come back from there, you don't have that same kind of fitness. Remember what happened with Afridi, the drift was over. Even it's the same thing, I would say, that break what Yasir Shah used to do on, it has little bit, I would say, not that affected what it used to be. So we need to back him up. Secondly, if you remember, this guy was the one who used to bowl around 30, 34, 35 overs in a day. It's not an easy job, believe me, Ahmed Bhai, to bowl 35 overs. So this is the thing where Pakistan actually really need to look after him.
Well, I think Asif's favorite question right now, Asif, would be that Sri Lanka has majority left-handers and we immediately drop our off-spinner.
Because we do not trust on our quality spinners. That's why Bilal Asif is not there, and Sajid was in our plans, and immediately we dropped him. So this is your planning. So once again, as you mentioned, the intentions. What are the intentions? We're not sure about ourselves.
Awais, is Shad Masood going to get a place in the playing 11?
No.
Possible?
No. I mean, see, I personally want him. I mean, because I told you, like, I know there was a debate. Remember when Babar Azam said one thing that many of them say that where will you put him? I mean, because he's an opening batsman. But obviously, looking at his performance, we can put wherever we need him in the middle order, because still, if you just figure out all the three formats, believe me, Ahmed bhai, still you're struggling with the middle order. Even in the Test cricket, you're struggling with it. And Pakistan are known to actually flop themselves in the third and fourth innings. And this Gal wicket won't be easy for Pakistan. And you really need someone who can actually play deep into the crease, I mean, because there's going to be break in the ball, and specifically the way I've always told you, Sri Lankans are known for magic spinners. I mean, they have got magician spinners. It won't be easy for Pakistanis, and you really need someone in the middle order who can play big innings for you, because always is not Babar Azam. He's performing, he's leading from the front, the middle order, because like I told you, Azhar Ali was your senior campaigner, but he hasn't been consistent for Pakistan. So the middle is always
I don't want to say
concern for
this.
you.
I might sound cliche, but both of you gentlemen can comment on this individually, that they've got tremendous services for Pakistan. Azhar Ali, Fawad Alam. This is going to be a real test for them. If they're not performing up to the mark once again, should the Pakistan squad be thinking differently after this series?
I don't think so personally that we're morally so high and we're stepping down by ourselves.
Ready, yeah.
Yeah, we're not ready. We just, we think that we are the star forever. And if you are performing well, see, Awais is mentioning what was happening with Yasir Shah in 2011, 2012, waited for his time, performed well, remain in test ranking as well. So, but one thing is that, see, when Pakistan Cricket Board is taking initiative for you, giving chances, and even then you're not performing well, come up front and tell that we're not able. Thank you very much. We have done enough. And now this is the time to say goodbye.
But now it's a new lottery now, because if you're giving separate central contracts, then people are actually going to want that test central contract.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I like money, you like money, everyone likes money. Yeah.
I like you, Asif. I like you.
It's a matter of your responsibilities and national duties. We do not think about that.
Right. Awais, Naseem Shah is either injured or immediately into the test squad. There's no in between for the poor lad.
See, I mean, if you just watch it, because I have been watching Naseem Shah, I mean, if you just watch out his bowling action, I mean, it's a bowling action, mixed kind of an action, I would say, and it's meant to be injury prone. And specifically, if you just watch him, I mean, he has been an integral part of Pakistan. I remember when Ahmed bhai, when he was not in the Pakistan team and he was actually selected for Quetta Gladiators, there was a hike that a speed star is coming up, and again he was injured. Hasnain came into the party and he played for Pakistan, I remember that time. So he has gone through that period. Recently he was playing for the county cricket back in England. He performed well, I would say, over there. Everyone was good with his pace. Again he was injured. Remember the tour went a little bit sad despite, and he came back to Pakistan. He's going to play in Sri Lanka, and it's a humid condition over there. That's what I'm speaking about, that you need to really take care of fast bowlers, because you, like you rightly mentioned up in the intro, that look at the other teams. I mean, they have got the backup plans. I mean, we unfortunately, we don't plan for the futures. We plan for the series to series. Where we lose up, we plan for the other series, that what we should do, the changes or not. Our players, unfortunately, Asif bhai, are not that, I would say, courageous to say that, oh fine, my body does not sustain the test match. I can't play the test match. I'm just limited to the limited overs. That means it's a cross mark for him for Pakistan, because they will sack him up.
He's hardly 20 years of age.
That's what I'm saying. See, 20 years of age. How can you control a fast bowler? Fast bowlers, it's a different.
You need to take special care of them.
See, fast bowlers are actually, a fast bowler standing in the in a cricket field or anywhere, you can actually judge him that.
But as a coach, you know, he went through a remodeling of his action as well. Just because since day one we've been talking that his action is very unorthodox and it's an injury-prone action.
See, that's the point I'm saying on, because where do you actually go through his action to just make it proper at the age of 18, 17, 19. Unfortunately, we don't go through over here in Pakistan. At the age of 23, 24, when he's a developed cricketer and he has played for Pakistan, the real, again, sorry to say that, again, the biggest problem is that when you speak to them and you know what they say, I've played for Pakistan. Who are you to tell me? That's the biggest
Did
issue.
he say
over
that
here.
to you as well?
No, he didn't say to me. Did he say to me?
See,
But the thing what we have actually heard, I mean, not about Naseem Shah I'm talking about, many of the ballers I'm speaking about.
I know
The
who
thing is
did.
that-
And Ahmed, you know that his action is quite similar with Shane Bourne, and Shane Bourne has the same injuries problems. Yes, you know, and I'm strongly agree that what Awais is saying that we are not building our players by physical or mental health. So what we are planning? We are going by series by
But,
series.
Asif,
Either
a
we
very,
win.
very honest question. I understand.
All of the questions are really honest.
But this one is very, very honest.
Okay.
I understand it's the board's job and responsibility to take care of the players at a very young age and then, you know, adjust them accordingly with limited overs cricket or test cricket and, you know, with the entire diet and fitness routine and everything. But as an individual, let's all be very honest, is the right now, because even Awais works with the new generation, even you have a lot of people you talk to, the younger generation of cricketers, do you think that they put enough effort individually themselves? The only reason is that we'll work very less, we'll achieve very, many things, we'll achieve very more, you can say, effective success in a very short amount of time, shortcuts, won't go to nets, sleep all day, immediately will come to the match and ball. This has been a very serious problem as far as the discipline is concerned.
That's right, and awareness comes with education. And see our education level. You go into the schools, no education for the cricket. You go into the college, hardly you can see that the guys, as you mentioned, that all the day they're sleeping and coming to the nets straight away with the bowling and the batting and going for the match. And see, same problem with the Pakistan cricket team is, you know, you're bringing a guy hardly 17, 18 years of age, didn't go to college and didn't finish even in the school, and you're not getting proper education. So cricket is an education. If you're not getting education, this I've been told by several players from UK playing, and Awais was also playing there. He will definitely inform us and in detail that how they are behaving with their players. Especially I'm talking about that when you go to the school cricket. So it's all about your education. If you're not giving them education, they won't get any sort of experience.
Awais, you highlighted this problem to me as well, that if you ask any young kid, he just wants to play the PSL or T20 cricket, that's his focus. But that comes at a later stage. That we're still not able to develop that culture and that discipline that comes from cricket. And I think even Asif highlighted this a couple of days ago, that the problem once again comes back that you've got no club cricket structure in Pakistan
See,
anymore.
I mean, the biggest problem is that, I mean, over here, unfortunately, the club cricket, the Pakistan cricket board, obviously, they're trying the level best to scrutinize the club. The biggest problem what I've seen in club cricket over here is that they don't have a proper plan of a fast bowler, because I'm working with the fast bowlers.
Yeah.
They don't have a proper plan how to handle a fast bowler, whether he's playing first class cricket or anything, because obviously you know the fatigue he's carrying. Is he a guy who's a professional sportsman, or is he working in the office or something and he's a part-time, I would say, of a sportsman? Then you have the proper diet plans, then you have the proper exercises and proper sessions for a fast bowler. It's not that he comes up from the office or from the school and all that, he's tired, he's carrying that fatigue with him, and you try give him the fast bowler and say, "Chal bhai, lag ja." It's not that, because see, there are two kind of things where you actually build your fast bowlers in the I would say club cricket, where they are actually being prepared for under 19 level Pakistan. It's your pre-season workout, it's your season workout. Right now it's summer season, you know, there's no cricket going on in Pakistan, so that means you actually, in this peak summer, I have 1 week and I would only design two campaigns for him. That 2 days it's a training for fast bowling, and you need to go for diet plans and all that. Unfortunately over here, because many of the clubs are run by the people who don't know cricket, they actually are stakeholders. They just have big names and they're running a club over there, which actually
businessmen.
the businessmen, which actually damages your club and even damages the bowler who's capable of playing for Pakistan. So that's the point where the Pakistan Cricket Board really needs to think about. And secondly, I've always been seeing that we need to work on under 19, under 17. The Pakistan Super League you spoke about, I'm excited for it. But secondly, if you watch out, even it's damaging your young cricketers coming up, because like I told you, whomever I speak to, you know what they say? Obviously, how can we play Kashmir Premier League? How can we play Pakistan Super League? How can we play Pakistan Super Under 19? There's no question how can we play Qaid-e-Azam Trophy or the first class cricket. That's your integral part cricket. Why people are getting away from it? it's not about the contracts, it's about the seriousness of your test cricketers or your seriousness about your Pakistan national
Absolutely.
players. Tell me how many players do play Qaid-e-Azam Trophy when the season is going on?
Yes.
That's the point you need to finish it up.
Or the focus that is there for the kids. That's very, very important as well.
And one thing more, you know that if you see from last 5-7 years, if you see back, you know that the people, they feel so honored if they are the first class cricketer. But now the people, they are more focusing if they play PSL.
Absolutely. I think the importance has changed definitely, and that's why we talk about the importance at a very young level for these young kids and developing that right mindset as well. Moving on, some news did come in, and of course it's very concerning. Former Pakistan captain and great legend Zaheer Abbas Saab is very ill. He's admitted in an ICU in England. He was suffering from COVID, then complications came in, has been diagnosed with a severe pneumonia. Now the family of Zaheer Abbas Saab has requested for prayers, and earlier I did talk to senior sports journalist Abdul Majid Bhatti Saab as well, who updated us regarding his health on another PTV platform. He said that he's undergoing dialysis as well. He's got a kidney issue at the same time. Then this pneumonia, he's on oxygen. Then of course he already has a heart ailment as well. In a couple of years back he suffered from a heart ailment. So his health is improving gradually, but things are tough, and the family has asked for prayers. And I think on behalf of Sports Extra, the entire team, PTV World and PTV in general, we send out our sincere prayers for the speedy recovery of Zaheer Abbas Saab. We hope that he recovers very soon and returns back to a normal routine and normal life as well. Asif, would you like to add something?
Of course, you know, a living legend, ambassador of Pakistan, of course, that served a lot for a long time, and, you know, Asian bred man. My positive thoughts are with him. We are praying for his early and speedy recovery. And when I heard, I was in, honestly, it's a sad news for us, and everyone is praying for his good health, as he is in England since 16th of June. Before that he was in Dubai. So as you said that the senior journalist Abdul Majid Bhatti has talked about him and about his health. So only one thing which I can say, that we are just praying for his early and speedy recovery.
Awais, your thoughts?
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him with the quick recovery, I would say, and all the prayers with his family. A living legend, obviously, and it's heartbreaking, I would say. Unfortunately, this little bit months, I mean, they have given a lot of heart attacks, you know, because many of the people even passed away. The significant, I would say, renowned faces of even Pakistan, whom Pakistan is known for, I mean, around the world. So, I mean, condolences to the families too, and hope for a speedy recovery for Zaheer Abbas.
Absolutely. We all hope for a speedy recovery of Zaheer Abbas Saab. Now moving on, some Sri Lankan cricket to discuss. They've outclassed everyone. Let's take a look at this report and then continue.
Sri Lanka clinched an incredible series win over Australia during the fourth ODI of the series in Colombo. It was a thrilling encounter that went to the very last ball of the match. This was Sri Lanka's first home bilateral ODI series win over Australia in 3 decades. The left-hander Asalanka made 110 with the help of 10 fours and a 6 to guide Sri Lanka to 258 all out.
He's played the short ball well, in the gap. That's in the gap. Green, end match. 100 for Charith Asalanka. He punches the sky, and the Primadasa rises once more.
In reply, the usually attacking Warner held fort to try and grind down the opposition attack. However, he was dismissed for 99 runs.
Iced over cover. And by to the off stump, will fetch him up. Oh, easy gone! Easy gone, I think he is. How unfortunate.
Spinners Dhananjaya De Silva, Jeffrey Van Der Sey and fast bowler Chamika Karuratne, who was the only regular seamer in the team, took 2 wickets each. The 5th and last ODI of the series will be played on 24th June.
And Sri Lanka win the match and the series.
What a moment for Sri Lankan cricket. Me and Asif were discussing this in detail yesterday as well, that they've got every chance to win this match, and Asif, they've done it in style.
Yes, it was a brilliant and fantabulous performance from Sri Lanka. And if you talk about that, the way they are accelerating day by day and improving well, honestly, I'm remembering the past years about the fantastic Sri Lankan side when the Mahila Jayawardene, Kumara Sangakkara, Sanajay Surya, and all the stars were there. And now this is the time if we talk about their recent performances in last couple of matches especially. Everyone was thinking that the Australian team is favourite, and I have given 35 marks to Sri Lanka and 65 to Australia. But
very strict marking teacher you are. Very strict.
But now
teacher.
we are changing our words. Honestly, all the players are performing well. See, as you were talking about the individual efforts. Yesterday, if the last night match, if you see that their openers, Dekwela, and after that their Kusal Mendes and Nisanka, they were not able to perform well. But later on, the way De Silva performed,
Nisanka getting 100. Yeah.
Nisanka played a superb innings and he scored century. So I think that this is called your individualism, is that you understand, you take your responsibility, and getting a good total, not saying a respectable total, but more than a good total, 250. And Australia was in trouble, and of course that later on the way their team played as a unit, they took really good catches. Fielding was fantastic. More important thing, that the fielding was important, and their keeper, he was so good with the catches, with the stumping. Got out on David Warner on 99. So I think it was a complete effort, and congratulations to Sri Lanka.
Yes, Avas.
It's the moment I would say they were actually waiting for. The thing what I loved was Sri Lanka was the pumped up crowd. I mean, because unfortunately they are going through tough period due to the crisis over there, and this was the moment what Sri Lankan, I would say, cricket team brought back faces to the faces. I mean, the smile to the faces, the way they performed. I mean, it looked gelled up. You remember we used to speak about that Sri Lanka are not the same unit what they were used to. I mean, because they're one of the teams which actually plays semi-finals, finals throughout the World Cup. If you just watch out main tournaments, they're one of the top teams, and it's good to watch Sri Lanka back into the form over here, because this makes me remember.
And right before you're going to Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. So that you're coming to Sri Lanka, welcome. So, but one thing, this makes me specifically, what remind about Atapattu, Jayasuriya, when you had that team of Sri Lanka, they were aggressive, what they were known to. And this team has that intent of aggression, because Sri Lanka, one plus point you have, it's that you have got strong schooling cricket. I mean, where you get players coming up, and mystery spinners, again, what I told you, I mean, the spinners are, believe me, one
probably
of the best spinners
in
the world. 99 getting David Warner, that was a heartbreak, obviously, because the way he was going on, it obviously looked that Australia would clinch on again. But Sri Lanka was fabulous, specifically with the bat, I would say, and this new skipper, he has been doing a great job for Sri Lanka, and Chamira specifically, what I was talking about it, because remember when he came to the Sri Lankan team, he was known as a more pace battery bowler, but he's totally changed that. He's a leading fast bowler for Sri Lanka, and that's the plus point. Sri Lanka has done a fabulous job.
Asif, what's the problem with Australia now that they need to address? We did talk about that middle order, Stark not being there. Probably invest more in Maxwell, give him more confidence. He looks like that one contender that can probably balance it.
I think that Australia always struggles against top-notch spinners, as Wes mentioned, that they got some mystery spinners.
Unless it's Saeed Ajmal and Mike Hussey on the other end.
Or Shaheen Shafri.
But Shaheen Shafri is a fast bowler. Yeah. Okay, so if you see the spinners of Sri Lanka, I must talk about that. For me, the last night's game was the man of the match was De Silva, scoring 60 and then 10 overs 40 for 2. And taking 2 important wickets, Glenn Maxwell, and the way Glenn Maxwell went forward and he asked for the referral, it was fantastic decision. He didn't go. It was a very close decision.
But Asif, what about the captaincy? Because throughout they didn't take that slip away. They kept that slip cordon in.
This is called, aggressive cricket. And but in Pakistan, when our Misbah was going with the same situations, you guys were talking about that he's a defensive captain. But now, as he said, the Shanaka is a really shrewd captain, puts pressure all the time and really talkative, which is really important for a captain. And see his eye contact. I was just watching the match right before the show as well. And I've observed that the way he was communicating with his guys all the time and didn't give up till the last delivery, and that's why they won the match. So I think that Australia is missing Smith. Yes, because he got an injury and Stark was not there, but you could say that it was an overall good performance from the Sri Lanka. and they're taking the advantage as well.
Definitely. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being on the show. We're all great, there when we appreciate Sri Lanka, and we always expect them to do well. Of course, traditional ties between us and them have been very good, and they're very quality cricketers that they've produced as well. But Asif and Awais, thank you very much for being on the show. On that note, that's all we have time for. Join us tomorrow once again. It's goodbye for now.